Hi, I'm Pam Updike. I'm an FFA advisor and an ag instructor here at Jackson High School. This is our school greenhouse. I'd like to thank Mr. Michael Clark. He's also an FFA advisor and an ag instructor here at Jackson High School. And as you can see, our plants here in our high school greenhouse is growing wonderfully. We got these plants the day before school shut down, so I have been planting and babysitting these plants, and as you can tell, I've done a pretty decent job with them. First of all, I want to tell you that there's two different things that you need in order for plants to grow. Can you think of the two? Yes, it is water and sun. So I come here daily and I water the plants. I also give them some liquid fertilizer. We call it liquid feed. Here's a picture of what I do. I hook it up to the water hose and I put it into each pot and each plant. I do that once a week, so that gives them some extra. I want to show you what the seeds look like. This is some tomato seeds. And as you can see, they are very tiny. And their seeds, these are pretty big compared to some of the flower seeds that people have to work with. They are very minute. Some of the seeds they have to actually mix with sand in order to plant them because they're so tiny they can't just do it on their own. This is what we get our plugs from. And these cells, normally when you get them like this, it comes through a conveyor belt into a big greenhouse that does supplying for small places like us. So they, on the conveyor belt, they have a machine that fills these with the potting soil, and then they also have a little machine that fills each little pod with a seed, and then the seed comes up, and each plug, we call these plugs, a plug looks like this. And there is 288 plugs in one of these little flats. So what I want to do is explain that this is a flat, and this they call an insert. When your parents go to the store and they buy these, they can come in a set of 4. Yes. So normally they can buy them this way, or they can buy them the whole flat. And so what I want to do is show you how we actually take these plugs, put them in here to make them look like this. This is the same plant that I was showing you that I've had potted out in this pot for 3 weeks, I believe it is now. So from that to that in 3 weeks is good. So what I do, I have a wheelbarrow here, and what I normally do is the night before I come in, I fill the wheelbarrow full of potting mix. Now, this is the bags of potting mix that I use. It is like sphagnum peat moss, and there's vermiculite, and they also have little pieces of fertilizer in it that's supposed to last about 3 months. But I like to side dress them with the liquid fertilizer too. So it's really hard when you open the bags and the soil is dry. So what I do the night before, I put it in here and I wet it down, and then I can actually transplant a whole lot easier. So I've gone ahead, I wanted to show you what it looks like before I wet it down. It's really dry, and then after I wet it down, it's a lot easier to work with. So what I do, I just come over here and I take the wetter soil and I fill up these little holes. What do we call these? Yes, that's inserts. There is 32 holes in an insert, in one of these inserts. So we're going to plant 32 marigolds. So if you're ready to watch, time me and see how long it takes. 1, 2, 3, go. Normally when I do it, I go down rows, but because I'm being videoed, I kind of wasn't in my groove. But I'm getting back now. So
you're still flying through.
I had over 5,000 of these to have to do by myself. Like I said, the kids, the day after I got these plants, were gone. So I've done 5,000 plants like this all by myself. So you have to learn to get pretty quick at it, or it's going to take you forever. Ta-da! I don't know how long it took, but I know it didn't take very long to get 32 plants transplanted. So this is how we do this in the greenhouse. Then I will water the plants to make sure that, if you notice, see how many roots are balled up in this little thing? After you take them out and put them in the little squares, the roots kind of loosen up, and then they've got a lot more room to be able to gather nutrients, the water, the fertilizer. So that's why they grow so good, is because they're able to gather stuff up more. Let's see, there was something else I was going to tell you. The heat. As you can hear in the background, my exhaust fan is actually working. I have also 2 little fans on the sides that I just use to keep the air circulating, because you have to have circulating air in here, or the stagnant air is not any good for the plants. So it usually stays around, that kicks on at 80 degrees. So if it's above 80 degrees in here, that will be on. Anything below 80, the plants like. It will drop down right now, since it's so cold at night. It'll drop down to about 45, 50 degrees at night. But that doesn't hurt the plants either, as long as it doesn't freeze, which is, what is freezing temperature? 32 degrees. As long as it doesn't drop below 32 in here, the plants will be fine. If you'll scan right down here, right here I have got a swimming pool, and it is full of potting soil. Right now there's nothing happening, but I would like to thank Karina Dickens. She works at the extension office. She brought me a 50-pound bag of seed potatoes. And so I have planted those potatoes, not all 50 pounds of course, but I have planted as many as I can in here. I did that a week and a half ago, so I'm waiting on my potatoes to come up, and I'm hoping that we will have a good crop of potatoes, and that our FFA kids can eat them sometime this fall when we come back, or this spring. I'm not saying we're not. So there's a lot of things going on in the greenhouse, and yes, if you want to have fun, you've got to get dirty. That's part of greenhouse rules. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something, and I hope everybody's staying safe.